There's a lot of social media involvement with these pesky little handheld computers called telephones, and they've got us interconnected with other people in a virtual way. And there's a lot of input. It's very different from in the 1900s when I was a kid growing up, where there was not so much input and things worked at a slower time frame. Now things are very fast. Information is exchanged around the globe very rapidly, and you can become aware of stuff happening in a completely different other part of the world. So the idea of having an in-person retreat is so important, to be able to sit still, to be present with another human being. And this is the kind of example that in that 12-month program, that presence and that connection is really what's being built, and that new habit is being established in the family. The other aspect is being able to interact with each other. Maybe the people they've seen on Zoom during the 42 weeks of the year during these weekly Zoom sessions, and get to know them at a more human to human level, and get really to bond with them. Because that skill and ability, and it is a skill to be able to really form rapport with another person, to form that bond. It's like anything. It's like going to the gym and working out. So being in the retreats is going to be an exercise of human connection, because despite all the machines and all the technology and all the AIs, what we have as human beings that's unique to us as both a gift and a skill and an ability that's really so transformative and so healing is human to human connection. So that's a big part of that. The networking will be really significant. They'll be able to introduce and find you through the grapevine other coworkers of mine, maybe someone that's doing some shamanic stuff or some ancestor trauma healing or some other kind of work. So maybe a breathwork specialist that would be there that's not me, that they can refer to and get to know and meet them in person during these retreats. The big thing, though, is I think by creating a group of families, both with my individual families and then other psychiatrists and psychologists working with families in the exact same consultative liaison program, primarily psychiatrists, maybe some nurse practitioners, that these families would then form a community, a network of people who would then grow and connect to other networks like the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And this group can then become advocates for mental health care in society in general. They can become advocates and like a lighthouse on the ocean for the ships. They can be a lighthouse for changing societal beliefs, understanding, and attitudes about severe mental illness. Something that I can't do alone, despite my efforts and my influence on the internet and talking to people. But having more and more folks carrying the message, you might say, they carry the message of balanced, healthful, meaningful, respectful lives for people with severe mental illness, substance use, co-occurring disorders, and their families, to carry that message. And then ultimately, perhaps to change, I'm really hoping it would happen, to change the way cities, counties, governments, states, and the federal government and other nations would really address and care for these people living with severe mental illness.